This contract said that if we work hard and if we build a successful company, which we did, that we would be compensated with the value that we created.
It's an explosive lawsuit. At the center of it, major media giant IAC, which owns Match Group, the parent company of Tinder.
They violated their promise to us. They manipulated financial information. They lied and essentially paid the employees billions less than they actually owed them.
Sean Rad co-founded Tinder in 2012 while working at an incubator owned by IAC. Now he, along with former and current employees, are suing IAC, alleging they purposefully lowered the value of Tinder.
Why do you think IAC and Match tried to undervalue the company privately?
Because they wanted to pay us less. There's a contract here that says that they have to pay us based on the fair value of Tinder. And they just did the most egregious, insane things to fabricate that valuation, corrupt it, and get a valuation that objectively is ridiculous.
The suit says IAC installed Greg Blatt as Tinder CEO ahead of the valuation process. His role, according to Rad in the lawsuit, to purposefully paint a pessimistic view of Tinder to the banks valuing the company. That included downplaying new features and withholding financial data.
At one point, there was even a revised financial projection internally that far surpassed the projections that were given to the banks. And they ignored that, and they ignored that that even existed. The banks just had to go off of the information that they were given.
Did you ever try to go to them and say, I don't think you have all the data, or I think this is being undervalued, here are the facts?
The executives who are part of this lawsuit attempted to tell the truth to the banks. And when they did, they were threatened to get fired.
In a statement to CNN, IAC called the suit meritless and said that it would vigorously defend against it. It said Match went through a rigorous valuation process with 2 independent banks, and that Rad and other executives who left the company may not like the fact that Tinder has experienced enormous success following their respective departures, but sour grapes alone do not a lawsuit make. IAC valued Tinder at $3 billion in 2017. That valuation relied on the information provided to the banks.
2 years before the corrupt valuation, the defendants themselves valued Tinder at $3 billion. Fast forward 2 years, 600% growth in revenue. And the defendants say it's still valued at $3 billion? It's absurd.
Some would argue that in that time you had all these different apps doing very similar things that Tinder was doing and gaining in popularity, and that could have been a part of slowing in growth.
Anyone who said that would be wrong. Everyone who looked at this company understood that in 2017, Tinder was the #1 product in its category, and it was going to the moon as it continues to grow today.
The lawsuit seeks at least $2 billion in damages, suggesting the company was undervalued by at least $9 billion. The suit also alleges that soon after Blatt was named Tinder CEO in late 2016, he groped and sexually harassed Tinder Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Rosette Pambakian, at a company holiday party.
I actually reported that misconduct to the company and the board had a choice. They could either do the right thing and properly investigate and take the right action, or they can keep that executive in a place where he can finish the job of corrupting the valuation.
Did you specifically talk to Blatt about these allegations?
Yes, I did.
And what was that conversation like?
I was threatened. I believe it was, if you take me down, I'm going to take you down with me.
In a statement to CNN, Match says it takes allegations of sexual harassment extremely seriously. The statement says Match conducted a careful and thorough investigation and concluded that there was no violation of law or company policy and took appropriate action. It's not the first time Tinder has been wrapped up in a sexual harassment lawsuit. In 2014, former Tinder VP Whitney Wolfe sued Tinder, Match, and IAC. Wolfe accused co-founder Justin Mateen of sexual harassment at Tinder and Rad of not stopping it. That lawsuit was settled out of court with no admission of wrongdoing.
We can't ignore the fact that someone who was accused of sexual harassment is now a part of a lawsuit that's claiming sexual harassment. How do you negotiate the two?
Look, Justin, along with all the employees, was also made a promise. As far as, the past and his breakup with Whitney and his conduct there, he's paid the consequences for that. He was fired from the company. That's not relevant to the fact that this company made promises to all the Tinder employees, including Justin, and reneged on those promises and overlooked the contracts they had with us.